I've been saying it all year, man. This team's special. There's something about this team. There's just no quit in it. Um, every day is a new day. Show up 0-0, and they showed it today. We got down early, and they responded right away. And just a gutsy performance across the board from guys like Fisher and Walters there at the end. And Hughes didn't have his best stuff, and I said yesterday, I'm not sure how he's going to attack the hitters, but he's gonna whatever he's got, he's going to use it and to his best visibility. And if it doesn't work, he's going to get beat, not because he's going to beat himself. So, this guy here to my right decided to show up today. I knew once the Panthers won last night, we're going to get a good Jake Ogden, big hockey fan here. So he's made me a hockey fan. You can believe that. Huge game from him, and not only leading off, offensively with that double there in the beginning, but that play he made in the ninth inning, like. People don't see that. It's very similar to the play he made in the regional championship game. Huge slow roller coming in. He got a big out. Next guy hits the home run that we keep a one-run lead. So that was a huge play there by him. And guys like Kulikowski that hasn't played all year a whole lot, but just kind of keeps grinding away and working hard, never complains. Always in a good mood, always in a good place, and gets an opportunity today, and he gets 2 big hits. And and I can go on and on about these guys, man. I love this group and. Just we get to play at least one more day of baseball, and I love it.
Open up for the players.
Jake, for you, JD has talked about all year how if he's had 9 of you in the lineup, he's happy to have 9 of you in the lineup. How does that boost your confidence, especially after going 0-5 yesterday and then just performing the way you did today? How does that boost your confidence going forward?
Yeah, then it's just part of the game. Not every game's gonna go the way you want it to, and that's the beauty of this game is that there's always a tomorrow, and we got a tomorrow now.
Jake, the momentum shifted there in the 4th inning, and of course your home run kind of capping that right there. What did you see? What was your approach at that at-bat, and knowing what took place before you coming up, did you kind of feel like there was a moment ready for you there?
Yeah, I was seeing the ball well today, and I got a pitch to hit, and I went over the fence.
Louisville scored 8 yesterday. They had 4 quick ones today, and then you guys pretty much shut them down after that. What changed? Did you guys change the way you approached it all in pitching them?
Just to continue to trust ourselves, what we've done all year long, and the coaches, they have big faith in us. We were excited to get back out there, and prove to them that we are the pitching staff that we are, and it was exciting. So we're excited.
For you, Brian, you've got the heart of the lineup there after that run that scored in the 9th, and you had 3-4 with Eddie King and Zion Rose. Kind of what was your approach to that, and how did you kind of settle down and get through that part of the lineup?
Absolutely. I attribute that to my teammates coming up to me there in the 9th and saying, you're the guy we want. We rally around you, man, and we're here for you. We're going to make a play for you. And really, settle the nerves there. Those are great hitters, right? Those are very talented people. So to have my teammates behind me, that meant everything to me. And just to continue to battle, and Laz came up and said, we're going to go right at them. So that was the whole goal there.
Jake, yesterday, Coach talked about how you guys kind of got out of your normal approach. What did you guys do to lock back in, and maybe how important was it to kind of get going early to potentially do that?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, for whatever reason, every time we're in a win or lose or go home situation, the team loosens up a little bit, and we have fun out there, and that's what we did today. We had fun.
Is there anything you can attribute to why you guys, with your backs against the wall, that seems to loosen you up when normally it would be
JD talks to us before the game, and he tells us how it is and keeps us loose.
When that momentum shifts there, with the base runner getting caught, what kind of happened in the dugout in between that inning to then lead to you guys getting some offense going?
Yeah, it's a momentum changer, and we work on that all the time in practice, and it finally paid off for us today.
Anything else for the players? Oh, sorry. Didn't see you.
It felt like at the plate you all really kept a lot of their bats alive, just fouling off those 2-strike pitches. What kind of went into what was you seeing with those pitches, and you kept fouling them off and continuing with that? What was that doing for you all confidence-wise and momentum-wise?
Yeah, the whole postseason we've been doing that, grinding every at bat out, and I think as a team, you build off those long at bats, and finally somebody comes through, and you're in the spot you want to be in.
When you pick the guy off second, you said it's a play you work on in practice. Is that called by the infielder, the catcher? Who calls it?
This guy.
He wanted to do it, so when we made the pitching change, we put it in. So. But
noticed he was getting too far off the base?
Yeah, I mean,
you take credit. It was Jake's call.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Okay. You guys can leave. We just leave Coach here. Or you can stay.
no, we'll stay. Okay.
Coach, yeah, he's I'm saying. The boys can leave if they want.
Coach McDonald said they're going with a freshman lefty, Eberly, tomorrow. Do you know who your pitcher's going to be? And is it an all hands on deck game where even guys that pitched the starter yesterday or today's starter could pitch tomorrow?
I mean, all hands on deck as far as it'll be a right-hander, probably either Lumpkin or Darius. Not sure yet, but it's going to be all hands on deck. You know, we made a decision yesterday with Siskar there at 40 pitches to take him out. We had one or two things we could have done there. Either has to stay out there and kind of take one for the team and not blow up, the bullpen. But being a freshman, I just, he's had a great year for us, man, and I don't want to leave him out there too long. So we decided to take him out there, and hopefully he comes back and maybe steal some outs,
He could pitch an inning or two tomorrow?
I think so. Yes.
Coach, you probably get sick and tired of talking about this guy, but Daniel Cuvée hit the big home run toward the end of the game there to extend the lead out. Talk about how good he is, how he's gotten so good, and just what kind of player he is.
I mean, look, he was pressing a little bit. And I think he's been pressing throughout the postseason so far, and I told him after they intentionally walked him, his third at bat, I said, you're struggling right now, and they still respect you so much that they still walk you. That tells you what kind of hitter you are, and you don't have to do too much and just get a barrel to it. He had a lot of pitches to hit and just overswinging a lot like he was early in the season. And there he stayed, kept his hands back just long enough on I believe it was a changeup, and got the barrel to it. And there aren't many parks in the country that are going to hold him in. So, but this game's hard. This game's hard, man. And he's saying the right things. I'm not pressing. But until I said, hey, just admit it, you are, and you're not the first or the last guy to do it. It's okay, but you have to accept the fact that you are in order to make an adjustment and change. So hopefully that last at bat carries over to tomorrow.
What prompted the decision to go with Kulikowski? Guy I think had 5 hits on the season, and then the production from the bottom of the order started maybe with that walk from Tanner Smith, a 9-pitch walk to get things going. How much did that mean to today to get you guys going?
I mean, you don't expect the bottom of the order to do damage, but if they get on base, so the guy at the top of the order has an opportunity to do damage, that's all you can really ask for, And Kula, we just thought it was a very good matchup for him. A guy that works down the zone a lot, Bivin has a great slider, man, or sinker, I'm sorry. And that kind of plays to his swing, down in the zone. So we just felt that was a good matchup for him. So we decided to go with him. So he came through. And again, he was ready to go. That's the important thing about this. Not the decision that anyone made to put him in the lineup, but the fact that he was ready to go when his name was called is what makes him special. And it's not easy. Not easy because he would be in a lot of lineups in the country. So the fact that he was ready, that's what I'm most proud of.
I asked Coach McDonald the same thing. After they had walked Kuvit earlier, were you surprised they left a lefty in to pitch to him in that last at bat?
Look, I don't know what their situation is, or you're gonna have to stand that. I do know if it was just a man on second base, they obviously would have walked him to face, Gonzalez. So that was a huge hit by Galvin to make it first and second. And and I told Max, and we were in Southern Miss that our biggest games when we score runs, it's really revolves around him and getting on base. And he's not driving runs in, but he's getting on base and putting Cuvée in situations where he can do some damage, and Dorian as well. So I think yesterday was the first time that he had a really good game and we did not score many runs. But we did have a lot of opportunities to score runs. We just didn't get the hit when we needed it. So he's that two-hole is a very important spot for us for any lineup. But when he gets on, he kind of sets a table there for those guys in the middle there.
Coach, this is back-to-back weeks where Jake Dorn and Jackson Cleveland have provided massive outings for you guys in those less competitive games, and I feel like that's freed up what you guys have been able to do the rest of the week. And how have those guys stayed focused in those outings, and what has that done for you guys as a pitching staff and as a team?
I said it yesterday. We win this thing. They're going to play a big part of the reason that we do is because of those guys eating up those innings that they did. And again, resting the rest of the bullpen and having them available. They did the same thing last week on Sunday, that Sunday night game against Southern Miss. They went in and kind of just held it down long enough, and we were able to have a full bullpen, have everybody ready for that Monday night game.
Coach, Carson was great, obviously, coming out of the pen. What do you think was working for him today?
Carson's a great sinker. When he trusts his sinker and just kind of throws and lets it do its thing is when he's most effective. And I felt early when he first got out there, he was kind of forcing it a little bit and kind of tightens up. And it's true for most sinker ball guys. They stiffen up and they start cutting the ball and stuff like that. When he just lets it play, it's a plus pitch, you know. And he kind of got in the groove there, started trusting it and making some really good pitches with his fastball and mixing in enough, off-speed pitches there. And of course, King got first pitch slider up in the zone and hit it. He did what you're supposed to do with a pitch like that, right? But other than that might be the only bad pitch he threw. He did a great job.
Coach, he touched on the bottom of the lineup, but could you speak a little bit more about Michael Torres and what he's been able to do, especially his confidence in the postseason? He's been able to have his confidence with his swing, and now he's starting to actually produce for what you really want.
Yeah, he's a freshman, right? And he's getting better and better. He's got some big hits. That was a tough left-hander today that he led that inning off in the ninth, I guess in the bottom of the eighth. He's just getting better and better every year and every day. And in the fall, he swung the bat really well, and in January, and he got off to a really rough start, and he lost his position to Peralta, and then we had the injury in right field in Williams, so Peralta moved to right, and he got another opportunity. And I mean, he's an elite defender, and the bat's starting to come around. And again, when that guy gets hot, then it just turns the lineup over for Jake and Max and Cuvée and Dorian. So that's a big. That 9 hole is a big important position in the lineup.
I got one more. The message has always been the same this season, 0-0, but everybody knows how big this game is tomorrow. Is there any different message, or is it just still the same?
It's 0-0, man. It's got to win today.
JD, this group, you talked about them being special, them being loose when they had their backs against the wall. What is unique about this group that they can do something like that when, that's not the norm for most teams?
It's who they are, right? I mean, when we're loose and having fun and enjoying ourselves, that's when we're at our best. Like I told you, they've earned the opportunity to play in a super regional, right? There's no reason to come in and put extra stress on yourself or pressure. I mean, they've earned it. Enjoy it. This is your dessert, right? I mean, this is what they've worked for. So whatever happens, have fun, enjoy it. You're never going to forget these moments, and we're just better when we play that way. And that's just the team that we are. I might be, saying something completely different next season, but this team right here, we got to have fun and enjoy each other, because I've never seen a team as close as this one.